Things I used to worry about as a homeschool mom: teaching a child on the spectrum. When I first started homeschooling, it was when my oldest child, well, I was always homeschooling. My children have never been to daycare. They've never been to school. But when I officially started homeschooling, my oldest child, she was 5, getting ready to start her kindergarten year. And in that same year, I was really concerned about some issues I was seeing with my second born. Because she wasn't showing like just ordinary 4-year-old behaviors. There were some concerns that I had. So after going to our pediatrician and being referred to the local school system, she had a series of tests done and we had interviews done, and they did confirm that she is on the autism spectrum. Despite the challenges and some of the behavioral issues that she had, they were telling me that they couldn't offer me any services. The county, the state couldn't offer me any services because they only offer services if the child's education is being affected by autism. And they said, well, her education isn't being affected. You know, she's very bright. She actually seems above where she should be for a preschooler. So they told me, good job, Mom. Keep doing what you're doing. And what I was doing was homeschooling. I had always been teaching my girls at home in preparation for school. And then I realized that I was going to homeschool them. The funny thing is before I became a homeschool mom, I was actually a second grade teacher. I've always been involved in education in some shape or form. And I remember when I was in college, when I was taking my elementary education courses, the instructors there, they were telling a lot of us like, hey, I know that your major is in elementary education, but if you change it to being special education, you can get a lot more money. You can make about $20,000 more by having that special education certification. And no matter how much they dangled that money in my face, I was like, I'm not the one. I think you have to have a special heart for these children, and I don't think I have the patience for it. And so it's kind of crazy to see that I'm in that position now where not only am I teaching a child on the spectrum, but I'm her mother and her teacher. And it's going fine. Like, even though there are rough days and it's not easy to try to figure out how to educate a child right at her level when she's on the spectrum and facing all the issues she faces and dealing with emotional or behavioral issues. But she is thriving. She's doing well in a lot of things that were spoken over her that she wouldn't be able to do well. She is doing amazingly well. And I think that's just one more reason that homeschooling is great, because even though she faces a lot of challenges, we're able to overcome them, and she's able to work at her own pace to achieve what she needs to achieve without being coddled and without being seen as someone who won't be able to achieve.